Shayla here. I just finished my first year of college last month, and I learned a lot of things as a freshman. So for today's video, I just wanted to share my freshman experience. This video is not to discourage you at all. Your experience will not reflect mine, and hopefully for some of them. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy either for my experiences. That's just like a little disclaimer. So I'm just gonna be telling you guys what I went through. First of all, let's start with my dorm and just my roommates. So my first roommate, she actually contacted me on Facebook. She's like, hey, we're gonna be roommates and everything. If you're in college or you're going to college, you know, like, if you have a roommate, you basically stalk them on Facebook to make sure they're not crazy or anything. My first roommate, because I had to, my first roommate seemed like she was partying and she was into that stuff, and I was like, you know what, that's fine, that's cool, whatever, because I had friends just like that, so I was like, you know what, I can't judge, because, you know, I had friends like that, I'm not gonna judge her at all. Then I would text her back and forth like a couple weeks before school started, and just to be like, hey, I'm getting this stuff, what are you getting? And like, it was basically, the communication was choppy, and I was just kind of like, well, I mean, I don't want to buy this, and you're not, and you're gonna buy the same thing, do you know what I mean? And like, if I'm telling you to bring this and you don't bring it, then we're screwed. But, you know, getting there, when we moved in, everything was fine. It was alright. But the big thing with this first roommate was not even her herself. Like, she was actually, like, pretty fine. It was whatever. It was the people that she had around her that made me very wary about leaving my stuff unattended. So, her friends, they're the type, I don't know, I don't want to say this word, but I really hate using this word, but like, this is the easiest way I can describe them without going on to like a lengthy, like 2-minute like explanation. So they were ghetto. I hate that word so much, but like, they were very trashy and ghetto, and like, I did not trust them with all my stuff that I had. So I was just kind of like wary with that. And there was one situation where my first roommate had her friend in the dorm, and when I left to go with my friends, her friend, my roommate's friend, took a picture of my side of the room. And let me tell you something, my side of the room was bomb. It had like, literally, I went all out, and I don't care, like, I was extra with it, and I will have, like, a link down below, like, my dorm room for 2017, my freshman year, because it literally looks so good. And then on her side, it was just, like, it was, I wouldn't say basic, but, like, she didn't go all out, but it was still fine, like, it's whatever, it was her side. But her friend took a picture of my side of the room, and said, and on Snapchat, and the caption was, one of your roommate's an overachiever. Now, I didn't see this because I was not friends with her friend on Snapchat, but my friend saw it, and she literally like showed it to me, and she was like, Shayla, I'm so pissed for you because this is so annoying. And like, literally, I deadass ran back into the room and said, hey, like, thank you for calling me an overachiever. And the girl looked shocked. She was like, what? Like, what? I was like, I don't understand why you would do that and take a picture on Snapchat. Like, that was just so rude. Like, ever since that moment, I was just kind of like, I don't trust her friends at all. And like, even the people that she would bring in, because I told her, like, the policy was that you can bring friends over, but they can't stay. Because like, our suite size, because our dorm rooms run in suites, and they have like different sizes per suite, and we have like dorm room B, which is like, that dorm room B is like the basic version where like, it's like the 2 bedrooms, so you have a bathroom, and then your 2 separate closets, like, that's it. But anyway, so I was like, they can't stay over. And then after that, there was another situation where she and her friends were gonna go out drinking, I guess, and like, they didn't even go to my university at all. They did not, her 2 other friends, they did not go to the university at all, and they were gonna stay over. This was like 3 days after like we moved in, and I had already explicitly told her, I don't do sleepovers, that's not my thing. That was part of our roommate agreement. Well, this situation was that she brought two of her friends from her hometown, knew what was gonna happen when they brought in their book bags and their sleeping bags, and I was like, I know that these people are not sleeping here. Like, there's no way. So they leave to go somewhere else as they put their stuff on the floor, and they go out somewhere. I don't know where they went for like 20 minutes, and then I had a friend who lived right next door, like right in front of me. As soon as you open the door, his dorm is like right over there. So I'm just like, I'm gonna call him Leo. So I go over to Leo's dorm, and I'm like, yo, I need to come and see this, because I must be crazy, because I just told my roommate that I don't do these things, and I'm pretty sure that she's gonna have her friends sleep over in this dorm. So he comes over, and he's like, yeah, they're sleeping here. They're intending to sleep here. And I was like, well, not today. They come back in, and I ask her, are y'all planning on staying here? And she's like, yeah, well, you know, they're gonna be drinking, and, like, I don't want them to, like, you know, drink and drive and, like, go home or whatever. My roommate was telling me this. And I looked right over to the two girls, and I was like, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know y'all. So you need to leave, because you're not sleeping over. I don't feel comfortable with that. I'm sorry. One of her friends was okay with it. She was like, you know what, that's fine, that's cool. The second friend copped an attitude, which I don't even know why you would cop an attitude to somebody's dorm. Like, if I want you to go, you have to go. So they left, and my roommate was shook, because I'm, like, a quiet person. Like, I am a quiet, shy, awkward person. So, like, I feel like girls like that think that, like, I'm just gonna, like, well, she's a freaking wallflower, I can just, like, walk all over her. Like, no, you cannot. Afterwards, like 2 weeks later, she said, hey, you and I, we're not working out. I think I need to go and get another roommate. And I was like, you know what, that's fine. Which was a good thing, because she couldn't clean either. That's the third issue with her, is that she could not clean. And I kept on asking her, hey, when are you cleaning? Because, like, at this point, I was sweeping the floors, I was cleaning out the bathroom and everything. And I was just kind of like, I am the maid. So I asked her, like, look, are you going to clean it out? And she's like, yeah, I am. Right? In the back of my head, I knew she wasn't going to clean it. When it came for her to, like, go, because now she's going to go and, like, live with her other friend now, I asked her again, because I was like, hey, I know you're leaving, but can you clean out the bathroom? Because it started having, like, green stuff getting, like, grown in there. So I was like, I don't know if she comes home and she vomits into the bathtub and into the shower, which is disgusting, but it was, like, green stuff growing in there. And I was like, girl, can you please clean this out? And she copped the biggest attitude and basically snapped at me, and I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna say a word, because you're leaving in 2 days. So you know what? That's fine. And those were, like, the three things bad about my roommate. Roommate number 2 came in literally right after my roommate left. I'm not gonna tell her business, but she was leaving, like, a very horrible situation with her other roommate. So it was, like, an emergency switch. I actually did not have any problems with her. Like, I can actually talk to her, and we talked and everything. But the problem is that she didn't clean either, and I was just kind of like, why? Like, why? And that was also a problem. So I was still a maid. But this roommate, we could talk about anything. We talked about mostly about makeup and, like, you know, the Kardashians and, like, Kylie Cosmetics and everything like that. It was fine. Like, she was nice. And I didn't have to worry about her bringing people over, like, jumping on my bed or anything like that I did with the last roommate. But the problem was the cleaning. And I literally had to snap at her for that. And she was, like, shook. And we didn't talk for a while. And then one day, I see her packing up things. And I'm like, this is, like, the very end of, like, fall semester. So I had 2 roommates in, like, 1 semester. I was like, hey, like, where are you going? And she was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to Penn State Altoona. Like, I'm transferring for the winter. I'm not coming back here. And I was like, oh, okay. So then we started talking again, because I was like, okay, well, she's gonna leave soon, so I'm gonna be nice. So she ended up leaving, didn't clean squat, cleaning the entire time I was there. Coming back from the winter break, back in January, I was praying that I was not gonna get a roommate. I was gonna be living by myself, and I did. I lived by myself the entire spring semester, which was so blissful. Oh my gosh. So I had the room all to myself so I can blast K-pop, I can walk around naked. It was great. I didn't have to worry about anybody. And I basically, it was like my own little mini apartment without like the kitchenette and everything. Dude, let's talk about parties. So, parties at my university are just, I don't even know how to describe it. I remember in senior year when I basically decided on going to Pittsburgh, the university I go to, when I told everybody that I'm going to SHIP, they were like, oh, that's a party school. And I was just kind of like, well, I'm not going there to party. I'm just kind of there to get a degree and leave. I really didn't take into account that, like, it was a party school. But it is, my university is like in the center, is in center Pennsylvania, but it's also so like 30 minutes away from Maryland. So you have people from Pennsylvania, other different parts of Pennsylvania universities, coming down to my university to come and party. And then you have people in the Maryland from like Hagerstown coming up to my university as well to party. So you have a whole, it's like literally like a whole bunch of strangers at this one university going to party. It was fun at some times, but it was also very shady and very, very, very sketchy. I remember the first time, like the first official time that we went out, we went to this place called Hot Point. My two friends literally went to the Jungle Juice, and if you're going to college, please, for the love of God, do not drink the Jungle Juice. They even said that to us in our freshman orientation, and like I'm staring at them, and I'm like, don't drink it, and they're like, I'm gonna drink it anyway, and they drink it right in front of my face. They were a mess, and literally that was like a trend from every single time like I would go out to a party. I was always a mom. I would always bring ginger ale or apple juice. I would never actually drink, and I would never get messy because I was always on the lookout, because in my group, like, I was the only one with common sense, unfortunately, so I had to look out for everybody, and I had to, like, check my surroundings. So sometimes I really did not have fun because I was just kind of like, this party is, like, I feel like something's gonna go down, and I need to be aware of it, so that way everybody who's, like, flopping on the floor that I have to take care of, we can all run out of this house quickly. I can't talk about parties without talking about boys. Back in high school and like middle school, like just regular grade school, I never got any male attention. Like, I guess I wasn't pretty, like I felt like I wasn't pretty enough, and you know, that stupid insecurity stuff that you go through during that time frame. Guys wouldn't really look at me, they weren't really showing me any interest, so like going to college now, that was a huge change. Boys in college, the way that they look at you, especially at parties, they don't look at you and be like, oh, she's so cute, I would love to date her, like type of innocent stuff that you see in like middle school and high school. It's more like, I want to have sex with her. And it's so disgusting to me, and I had those type of glances all the time, and that made me so turned off from guys at that school. I was like, no, like, if this is the male attention that I'm getting, I don't want it. And like, I had other friends who just loved it, and I think it's because they went through the same thing that I went through. Like, I wasn't an item for guys back in high school, and they weren't either, and they literally ate it up, and they ended up in situations where the guys were like totally fuckboys, and they just screwed them over. Like, there's been so many guys who like would like come up to me at parties, and they would tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey, could I dance with you? Like, no, you cannot. But the thing is, that's another thing. They would tap me on the shoulder and ask, but when they see my friends drunk dancing, they would literally grab them by their waist, and then they would start grinding on my friends without any consent whatsoever. And I'm like, that is so disgusting. They're like freaking vultures with that. I'm just like, listen, I'm just trying to have like a good time. Like, chill out. And there was also another moment at like a different party where a guy tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, oh, my friend wants to talk to you. That is the most annoying thing that a guy can ever do. If you're a dude watching this video, please never ask your friend to touch another girl's shoulder or like try to get her attention and say, hey, my friend wants to talk to you. Do it yourself, because that is the most annoying thing ever. Honestly, that just shows me that you're a coward. That happened to me at a party, and I was so pissed off. And like, I was so happy that another girl that I had just met was like a flopping mess, because literally she literally fell on my stomach, and I was like, okay, no, I can't talk to you. Like, that was my excuse, because she was literally like a flopping hot mess. And I was so thankful that she was in a state of messiness that night, that I got away from so many guys that night. Like a guy who had like a Trump supporter hat, who wrapped his arm around me, and he was like, oh, you know, you're my baby girl, right? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? What? I was so alarmed, and like the same girl that I was talking about, who was like a floppy hot mess, she fell again, and I was like, bye, and I had to go take care of her. So grateful for her. For what I've seen from SHIP for guys, they're all fuckboys. If you're going to college, screw guys and focus on your education. Like, that was my mindset. I was like, screw guys, they come later. I'm going to get my degree, because to me, like, I've been single all my life. I'm pretty sure I can be single for 4 more years. I mean, I could tell you guys more about guys, because there's a lot of stories that it's not even popping up in my mind right now. But there's a lot, but I'm just telling you the basics. Student life, non-existent. We do have clubs, but like, on a weekend especially, there's nothing to do at SHIP on a weekend. Nothing to do. It's a small town, very, very small town, because I live in a small town, but there are so many things that I can do in this town. But over at my university's town, you have to go to other towns that are like close by to have fun. They claim that there's student life here, not really. And they put like all the fun activities like during the weekdays where you have to write a paper and you have to be studying. So I'm just like, I don't understand why you would like put like a go bowling on a Thursday at 9 o'clock when I'm going to be writing a freaking paper or studying or even going to sleep. You should be doing that at like 6:30 or like 4:30 on a Saturday when I have nothing else to do. Literally, for student life on the weekends, you either go home, because a lot of people commute from in my university, so you either go home for the weekend or you go out and get drunk. And I'm jumbling around here, but I just remembered, for going back to the party thing, there's an actual street off campus at my university. There's a street called Richard. It's like a whole bunch of frat houses. Like, imagine like your neighborhood street, you walk out and everything, but instead of like the normal nice looking street, you have like a whole bunch of kids, right, out in the open, smoking and drinking. That is Richard. And there's been times where like the police had to come in and swoop in and gather up a whole bunch of kids. I was never there to see that, because anytime me and my friends would go to Richard, I was like, I'm not, like, this place is about to get busted. And one time when my friend went out, he had to go sprint for his life, because the police helicopter literally shined a light onto Richard and everybody scattered. In summary, student life is canceled at SHIP. There's nothing really there. Me and a whole bunch of other people that weren't really my friends, we would like talk about it and we like, yo, like, this is kind of boring and it sucks, you know? And also, the people there at Shippensburg, they don't really want to talk to you. Like, a lot of people, like, there was a point where, with my friends, where we kind of like fell out. And we all kind of went our separate paths, and which is okay, it's whatever. In college, you're gonna lose friends, and you're gonna gain them as well. I was trying to talk to other people, and like, they did not want to be bothered at this point. It was like spring semester, they did not want to be bothered. They were already settled in. If you did not make friends for freshman orientation, or in the fall, beginning of fall, you're not gonna make friends now. They were very cliquish, and like, they would only be friends with you for their own personal gain. To me, it was like almost, it resembled the cattiness that I saw in high school, and I was like, I'd rather be by myself in my dorm watching Netflix when I'm done with my classes than to like subject myself and like try to force myself to be friends with people. Like, I'm not gonna, like, that's not who I am. I'm not gonna force myself to do that. The rest of spring semester, I did have friends, but they all lived off campus. And so I basically chilled out by myself. It was like lonely at times. Like there was times where like I definitely got in my head and I was just like, oh my god, I'm so lonely. But like at the end of the day, like it really didn't matter. And like I did have friends from my hometown come and visit me over the weekends, and we would go out all the time. There's so much I want to like tell you guys. Like this is not even half of it. But like I can't, this is gonna be like a 40-minute video, and like right now like my camera's already recording it to 32 minutes, so we have a lot to edit. Let's go to academics. Academics, I was actually fine academically. Like I was smart about it. Like instead of partying all the time, which people do at SHIP, they literally party all the time, and when it comes to schoolwork, they're just like, what? I'm still academically fine and everything. Math was the only one that I actually struggled with a lot, and I genuinely struggled with that because I'm really dumb when it comes to math. Like, statistics sucked. The teachers, I actually haven't run into, like, any teachers that, like, are really crappy. And, like, going to college made me realize how unprofessional high school and middle school teachers are. Professors literally, they do what they gotta do, and they go home, right? Versus teachers, they're all up in your business. They have attitudes sometimes. So I'm just kind of like, why are you here? And I don't know, like, the attitudes are a little bit different, and I think it's because maybe the pay has to do with that. I'm not sure. But, like, teachers are really into their feelings. And I think it's because they're teaching kids who are kind of, like, immature. They act immature as well, versus, like, in college, the professors, they're gonna teach us, like, we're grown because we are grown. My freshman experience, overall, good grades, decent grades, good grades, a lot of A's and B's in there. Friends, kind of lost, like, a lot of my friend group. Boys are trash. I know all of them are not actually trash. I know a lot of people are gonna fight me for that. But I know some boys are actually really sweet and everything. But boys are trash. Do not interact with them at all, especially if they're creepy and they're grimy looking. 4, parties are lit, but they are very shady and sketchy here. So if you don't have a mom friend and some crap goes down, because a lot of things did go down in SHIP and Spur that I cannot say, you're screwed. And 5, make sure your roommate cleans. Not only is she clean herself or himself, but he or she actually cleans. My overall freshman experience, it was good. It was exciting. It was stressful. It sucked sometimes, and it was lit. Anyway, thank you guys for sitting down and watching this video. Please don't let this scare you or anything. This is just my experience. You're probably not even gonna end up dealing with a whole bunch of stuff anyway. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Alright, bye you guys.